Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Bettina and Max play Doki Doki Blue Skies. We're back on the main menu, and it's time to load up our game. I think that was September 1st, so that was a good time away. It's the day of the festival. We saved on a good place, and it's time to get stuff started.
Hopefully.
So this is a day where things usually go wrong, but we're gonna see if they go right today.
Yeah, I don't think my heart could handle it if they go wrong at this point.
Okay, the preparations for the event should be nearly complete, given all the work that everyone's put in over the weekend. The banner Yuri and I painted is dry, and I gently rolled it up to take with me. She sent me a pleasant text reminding me not to forget anything, and I reassured her. I smile, putting my phone away. Her personality even shows through her texts. Funnily enough, I probably feel the same way as Natsuki about the event. I'm more excited for it to be over so I can spend time with Yuri at the festival.
Ooh, that's different.
Yeah, but knowing Monica, I'm sure the event will be great too. It's been a while though. Where's Sayori? We're meant to walk together, but she's late again. No. Oh, please be okay.
Please show up, please show up, please show up.
I don't want to leave her behind, but if she takes much longer, I'm going to be late for school. At least he remembers, and he didn't, totally space and forget about her this time.
Yeah.
More time passes. There's going to be a moment of decision soon if she doesn't arrive. Just as I'm getting ready to leave, I finally spot her slowly making her way down the street.
She's not dead.
She's carrying a large sack in her hands, and I'm surprised she isn't running over to me. Isn't she aware of how late she is?
Sayori, where have you been? We could have been late for school.
I know. Sorry.
Overslept again?
Yeah.
Or couldn't decide what to have for breakfast again?
She immediately pouts. You're such a meanie sometimes.
You know my teasing is all in good fun, right?
She mumbles something under her breath. Oh, look at that pout.
No.
Of course. She looks like she's back to her normal self again. A definite relief. I felt a little guilty at not spending Sunday with her, but then again, it was probably wise to give her space. Then again, Yuri also needed help. I point to the sack she's carrying, which contains an assortment of colorful little gift bags.
Ah, are those the gift bags you were working on over the weekend?
Yep, I managed to get everything we need. Candy, quotes, and bookmarks. It was a lot of fun. Although it was kind of hard to stop myself from eating the sweets. Aww.
And did you manage it?
People won't notice if a sweet or two goes missing, right? I can't help but laugh. That's such a Sayori thing to say and do.
I'm glad you're feeling better today, Sayori. And I'm sorry if I was a bit too invasive on Friday. I just worry a lot, that's all.
It's okay, main Kara. It really is. It's sweet that you were concerned. But yeah, I'm fine. It was just a little rain cloud. Although, I'm kinda nervous for the festival.
Honestly, I don't blame you for that. It's kinda nerve-wracking, isn't it? I mean, I know how much it means to Monica, but at the same time, I didn't realize how intimidating reciting poetry to a bunch of strangers can be.
Yeah, I was all for it back in the club room, but now that the actual day is here... She looks a little nervous. I reach over and give her a squeeze on the shoulder.
We'll be fine, don't worry. I know how much you like poetry, plus your poems are great. I just hope my own performance is up to standard.
Oh, don't be silly, main Kara. They'll love your poem, I just know it. What exactly is he reading for the performance?
That's a great question, because in the original he just got something from online.
Uh-huh. I I chuckle, admiring the definitive optimism that really makes Sayori, well, Sayori.
Guess we'll find out. By the way, are you doing anything after the festival? Anything fun?
Nope, I haven't really planned that far ahead. I'm not great at doing that anyway. I'm kind of hoping we finish early, so we can have the rest of the day off, to be honest.
So what you're really saying is that you want to go home and sleep, right?
Ooh, look at how many students there are! How many clubs are having their own little event today? What a tactical change of topic that was. Our school is in sight, and there's a lot of students milling around. I wonder if we'll see, like, the other teacher and his other classmate or two.
Oh yeah. We haven't seen them since, like, the beginning.
I know. Other characters exist, but we don't know it. It's a little strange to think that there's so many fellow students around, yet I've still been feeling so lonely. Or at least, before joining the literature club. Times like these make me grateful that Sayori told me about it the club in the first place. Should've gotten a spell check on that one.
I don't know. Probably quite a few. By the way, Sayori.
What's up, main Kara?
I just wanted to say, well, no matter how this festival goes, I'm really grateful you told me about your club and let me join. I've had a lot of fun so far.
I scratch the back of my head nervously as Sayori looks curiously at me. I've never been good at expressing myself, and it probably shows. Well, it certainly shows up in your poetry writing.
I guess what I'm trying to say is, thank you. It's been so fun being able to spend time with you again too.
Aw, it really takes me back. You don't have to thank me for anything, silly. I've enjoyed it too. After all, it would be lovely if things could go back to how they used to.
How they used to? What do you mean?
Oh, nothing. Strange choice of words. What could she mean by this? As we enter the courtyard and make our way to our meeting room, she breaks the silence by giggling.
Something funny?
I've just thought of a way to steal one of Natsuki's cupcakes without her realizing. Huh?
Are you sure that's a good idea? Natsuki might be little, but you know better than I do that she can be really fiery.
Oh, don't worry about her. She might seem a bit mean on the outside, but she's harmless. Don't let her fool you. Well, I'd rather her than me.
Natsuki just comes up and whacks their ankles.
Ooh, that sounds like a new song.
Oh, it is.
It's like really pumped. Main
Yeah.
Kara! Sayori! It's good to see you guys. Ooh, a little bit of drums. Exciting.
Ooh, I'm down.
Do you want to come in and give me a hand? Monica is placing little booklets on each of the desks in the classroom. They must be the ones she prepared that has all the poems we're performing. In the end, I found a random one online that I thought Monica would like and submitted it. That's a poem from online. So that's the one I'll be performing. Hey, do you guys want to check out the pamphlets? They came out really nice.
Yeah, sure.
I put down the banner I'm holding and grab one of the pamphlets laid out on the desks.
Oh yeah, they really did.
They look really pretty.
Something like this will definitely help people take the club more seriously.
Yeah, I thought so too. I flipped through the pages. Each member's poem is neatly printed on its own page, giving it an almost professional feel. I recognized the girls' poems from the ones they performed during our practice. Just then, Natsuki breaks into the room carrying a box that positively towers over her. Wow, towering over her. That must be big.
Or she must be extra tiny.
Yuri trails in behind her, clutching at a large duffel bag nervously.
Alright, it's festival time! Wow, you guys got here before me? I thought I was pretty early.
I'm sorry for being the last one here. I'm glad that some preparation is already underway, though. It should take less time to set everything up this way.
Yeah, let's work together, everyone!
Natsuki unpacks her box to reveal 4 trays of cupcakes stacked carefully on top of each other.
Main Kara!
I jump at the sudden outburst.
Yes?
Help me lay out these cupcakes.
Then if you don't mind, Sayori, can you help me with these? Yuri gestures at her bag, to which Sayori nods cheerfully. I help Natsuki with her cupcakes while Yuri and Sayori start putting up decorations. Aw, it's nice that, Natsuki's asking him to help out. Like, I thought she was, done with him or something.
More like commanding him, but yes.
Right.
That's Natsuki's way of being nice.
That's true. Meanwhile, Monica continues putting down pamphlets. It isn't long before Natsuki has carefully arranged her cupcakes in a neat formation. Each cupcake is topped with white frosting and some kanji written in a variety of different colored frostings.
Wow, these look really good. Great idea to make them literature club themed as well, Natsuki.
Yeah, it was a good idea, huh? I wrote down words that specifically have to do with poetry in her poems, too.
She picks up a cupcake to show me.
See, this one says create.
Isn't that the kanji for use?
Oh. As Natsuki furiously checks over the rest of her cupcakes to look for more miswritten characters, I glance over at Sayori and Yuri. Huh, I guess create and use. They don't really sound very close.
But they must be similar in kanji, I guess.
Right. Yeah. Yuri's on the floor painting her inspirational quote on the banner in white paint. I guess she figured out where I put the banner herself. Meanwhile, Sayori's hung up the kanji curtain on the doorway and is puzzling over the essential oils setup.
A good writer possesses not only his own spirit, but also the spirit of his friends?
Yes, it's a quote by the German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche. I think that's how you pronounce it, I'm not sure. See?
Nietzsche? Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems like a pretty fitting quote.
Yes, I thought that it would summarize our experiences in the club quite well. I'm finished with the lettering, so if you wouldn't mind, Main Kara. That is, could you help hold my chair steady as I pin this up?
Of course. Means I get to be right next to your booty.
Hush you. Yuri pulls a chair up to the front of the classroom and climbs onto it, teetering slightly. She grips the banner tightly in her hands as she reaches up to attach it to the wall. The chair gives a threatening wobble, but luckily I managed to steady it.
It's okay, Yuri. I've got you. You don't have anything to worry about.
Thank you. Is it just me, or does she look like she's starting to blush now? I feel my cheeks begin to heat up as well.
She's so cute.
I didn't say anything weird, did I? When I help her down from the chair after she's finished, she looks more bashful than ever. Man, how do I always make things so awkward? It looks like all the preparations are almost finished now. I feel like there's something missing, though. Suddenly, I noticed a large bag sitting forlornly by itself to the side. That's Sayori's, isn't it?
Sayori, did you forget to set up your part?
Did I? I did! Oh, she rushes over to the bag and quickly empties it out. It's full of small, colorful bags tied shut with thin ribbons.
Don't worry, I'll help you.
We start organizing the goodie bags in neat rows on the desks closest to the door. I peek inside one of them as we do so.
You can take a bag if you want.
Inside the bag, I find candy, stickers, inspirational quotes from poems on some sort of cardstock, and bookmarks.
Looks like there's a good mix of things in here.
I chose only the best candy for the festival. And the best quotes.
The best bookmarks as well?
You betcha!
We laugh as we finish up our task. I take a bag, fish out a candy, and pop it into my mouth. Sayori really does have good taste. The chocolate and toffee seems to melt on my tongue.
Can I have one too, main Kara?
I can't resist those puppy dog eyes.
Thanks! You're the best!
Eee! Ooh! Poetry time!
Ooh.
This is cool.
I'm
And look at
gonna
all
fire
those goodie bags!
If I know a high school, those candles are too much of a fire hazard for chaotic students.
Maybe in Japan it's okay though, because they're
Oh
responsible.
yeah, in Japan they're probably well behaved and stuff.
By the time we finish, it looks like everyone else is done too. The classroom is now darkened and lit up by the ambient lighting of the candles. I feel like the music is a little, now not paired right for this atmosphere, but maybe it'll relax.
Yeah.
A delicate floral scent wafts through the air, courtesy of Yuri's essential oils. Sayori and I head towards the other three girls, who are huddled near the front of the classroom, murmuring to each other.
Is it about time to start yet?
Oh, Dark Monica. Almost.
Ooh.
We wrote that we were going to start at 10 a.m. on our posters, and that's in 10 minutes.
Are people actually going to show up for this?
Don't be so negative. Some people have shown up already, and I'm sure that more will file in soon. You guys don't have to be worrying so much. I've got full faith in all of you. I've seen all of your poems. It's been amazing watching each and every one of you find and nurture your unique writing styles. She smiles encouragingly at each of us. To her credit, her words are helpful, even though I haven't been part of this club for as long as the other three.
Even main Kara?
Natsuki! Natsuki!
It was just a joke, jeez. Thought some humor would lighten the mood.
Sorry. Just trying to make sure everyone's in the best frame of mind before we start. It's okay, Monica. We all understand and appreciate that. Aw, Yuri.
Yeah, we know how much this club means to you. I want it to be a success just as much as you do.
Couldn't put it better myself. Even though I've only been in the club for a few days, I've felt really at home. Truth be told, I used to be kinda lonely.
Oh, Monica hears that.
Yeah. Knowing that I'm included in something with people like you guys always makes me feel better.
I haven't told anyone about how lonely I've been feeling. I'm a little nervous about how they'll react. They all turn to me, varying degrees of emotion on their faces. Natsuki impassively looks to the side, while Sayori and Yuri give me expressions of concern. Aw, Sayori.
Aw, main Kara, I had no idea you felt that way. I'm sorry. I really hope we can change that. But I'm so happy you feel welcome here, too. It's exactly what we wanted.
I agree. No one should feel alone. I know it's quite a difficult thing to experience. I feel a warm flush of gratitude at their words.
Thanks, guys. That means a lot. Also, Monica, I told Sayori this earlier, and I figured you might appreciate hearing this.
Hmm?
Well, no matter how the festival goes, I just wanted to say thank you to all of you. Thanks to you guys, that lonely feeling has disappeared. You've all been so welcoming and accepting, except Natsuki, but but believe me, I am really appreciative of that. So, even if this event doesn't quite go as planned, just know that I really love it here, and I'm so glad Sayori told me about this club.
And I'm so happy that Sayori is here and we're actually able to experience the event.
Yeah! If others don't like what we have here, well, it's their loss, right?
The girls nod in agreement, smiling at me. I had no idea my words would have such an impact, but I'm glad they did in the end. Smiles all around.
Yeah, this is the first time we've seen that ever.
Yeah, It feels so rewarding to be able to give back to the club for a change. After taking and taking, Monica turns to me, eyes shining with appreciation. Thank you, Main Kara. You're right. Hearing those words from a newcomer really makes me feel like I've succeeded in my goals as president. After all, I wanted to create a place where people can feel comfortable and share literature, and what you've just said makes me feel like it was all worth it. She turns to face the others. See, guys, if we could show Main Kara how amazing this club is, who's to say we can't show the other students the same thing? Don't see them as strangers. See them as potential club members. She's definitely got an inspiring way with words.
Yeah, good thinking, Monica. What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah. But if they say anything bad about my cupcakes, I'm gonna kill them. Just gonna stab their hearts out.
Yuri giggles softly, especially at that.
Stab them twice in the stomach and once in the chest.
Oh,
just
no.
like Yuri.
No! I won't lie to you. I'm still quite nervous. But after hearing what you've said, Main Kara, I realize that there might be the other lonely people out there. This club would be the perfect place for them.
Yeah, we might find more manga enthusiasts.
That's the spirit. Now let's go and show the rest of the school just what the literature club is made of. As if on cue, a few people wander into the room, curiously looking around the room. Monica confidently walks over and greets them. And so it begins. Aww. Monica and Sayori have greeted the newcomers and settled them in desks throughout the classroom. Ah, good.
Look at all of them.
Yeah. I see the music's relaxed a little bit, finally.
That's good.
Some people are already helping themselves to cupcakes, and I notice Natsuki keeping an eye on them. Meanwhile, Yuri is nervously looking through a pamphlet. Or not, I guess it's not relaxed.
Oh, yeah?
I thought it was, but I can see her soundlessly mouthing the words to her poem. Now that I think about it, I should be getting some extra practice in as well. Before I can do so, though, Monica heads back towards us with Sayori in tow. Showtime, everyone!
Let's do this, guys!
Get this over with.
I can do this. We group up and stand together at the front of the classroom. Monica steps up to the podium and clears her throat, drawing the room's attention to her. Okay, everyone. Welcome to the Literature Club's poetry performance. My name is Monica, as some of you may know. Some girls sitting near the front of the classroom wave at her. And I'm the president of the club. Accompanying me is the vice president Sayori.
Hi, guys!
And the rest of our club members, Yuri, Natsuki, and last, but certainly not least, Main Kara. We all wave back at the students with varying degrees of enthusiasm. I hope that you'll all enjoy our poetry, and that we'll be able to help contribute to a memorable festival. Literature is amazing in its ability to connect us to the human condition, and we really hope that this event will help encourage others to start participating as well. Our club will gladly welcome any new members, from those who love words and writing as well, to anyone who's simply just curious and wants to learn more. After the scheduled performances, we'll be opening up the stage for anyone else who wants to perform, so don't be shy. And now, without further ado, I'll be starting with my poem, The Way They Fly. Sayori, Natsuki, and Yuri and I head off to settle down in the frontmost desks, saving the seat at the end for Monica. She stands there, alone, yet still radiating confidence. After flashing a smile and a wink at us, she begins. Each word is crystal clear and exudes emotion. I wish they would let us read the poems. Damn it.
Right? Get over the poems, but not the ones they performed.
Yeah. Somehow her recitation is even better than it was only a few days ago. She must have practiced hard to try to achieve perfection. The classroom is silent at first, drinking in her words. After a few moments, however, some whispering starts up in the back of the classroom. I guess that's inevitable, but it still doesn't make it any less annoying. I exchange a look with Natsuki, who rolls her eyes at the disruptions. How rude. Sayori pats my hand and gives me an encouraging smile. She's comforting as always. As Monika's poem progresses, more and more people wander in. Normally this would be a good thing, but they're making a lot of noise. Thankfully, they simmer down once they realize Monika's speaking, but the damage has already been done. She reaches the end of her poem, the last few words resonating in the classroom. A round of applause fills the room, and Monika beams at everyone, patiently awaiting for them to finish. Thank you for listening, everyone! I hope you enjoyed my poem and that it gave you a flavor of what this club is like. For the newcomers, welcome! We're just in the midst of showing you all of our poems. For the benefit of those who have just joined, she quickly reintroduces everyone. Anyway, up next is Natsuki. Take it away! Natsuki stumbles slightly as she makes her way to the front of the class. I guess the nerves are really getting to her. It doesn't help that someone sniggers, causing her to turn to glare at them.
I would not have used that word.
No.
That's a slang term.
Oh.
When it's supposed to be Snickers.
Right. Yeah. It's
So,
like they
wow,
sound close,
that was
but...
very close.
Yeah, they sound the same, but they're not the same.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah. Sayori seemed to notice too, as she hastens to shoot Natsuki a reassuring smile. Natsuki stands at the front of the classroom with her poem in hand, slight traces of irritation still visible on her face. What's wrong with these people? You gotta be quiet during a performance.
My poem called Jump.
She takes a deep breath and begins her recital.
Might
Just
as well jump.
Just as I was hoping, she's able to inject her trademark bouncy style into the performance, bringing the words to life. She doesn't quite radiate the confidence Monika did, but her unique style shines through, giving the poem a flow and rhythm. While simple, it's effective. My heart sinks as I start picking up on the newcomers having their own conversation in the back of the room. Do they need a talking to? I'm hit with a surge of anger. How can they be so inconsiderate? It's clear that they aren't paying any attention, and from the pause and change in Natsuki's tone, she's clearly picked up on it as well. Why can't they just save their stupid, selfish conversations for after our performances? Her poem comes to an end, but unlike with Monika's, there's a slight awkward moment of silence. And there's silence in the music, too.
Ooh, I like that touch.
Once again, there's a round of applause, but it's clear that the audience's engagement isn't quite as strong. Great performance, Natsuki! I really liked the rhythm of that poem. I don't know if we can keep ignoring this. Natsuki forces a smile and makes her way back to her seat. It's clear that she's upset. Anyway, our Vice President Sayori is next to perform.
Hi, everyone. I hope you like my poem.
She cheerily skips up to the front, poem in hand. As she turns to face us, she looks a little nervous, fidgeting slightly.
Sorry, I'm a little nervous.
It's okay, Sayori. Just remember what we've practiced. I've got full faith in you.
Yeah, you got this.
This one's called My Meadow.
Okay.
Huh.
She begins her poem. Her soft voice... Wait, did that sound a little weird to you?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's slightly off key.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Her soft voice guides us through the recital, and there's a remarkable contrast between her cheerful inflection and the more bittersweet nature of the words. Out of the corner of my eye, I notice people casually flicking cupcake wrappers onto the floor, along with candy wrappers lying on the tables. Worse still, the talking is getting louder and more noticeable. Someone's gotta point this out, it's causing trouble.
Yeah.
Monika looks around at the perpetrators, frowning at them. One of the students lets out a loud yawn, making absolutely no effort to hide it. Another student picks up one of the quotes and nudges their friend. They both frown and laugh at the message, and I get the horrible feeling it's more the mocking kind of laugh. At this point, I'm seeing red. If we weren't in school, I would have punched these inconsiderate pricks by now. Probably would have too, given them a talking to anyway.
Yeah, I would have kicked him out real quick.
Just like as soon as it was Monika's poem, it's like, hey guys, if you don't want to listen to this, then get the hell out.
Yeah.
No one should be this rude to Sayori. She's probably the sweetest person I've ever met. Despite the now obvious disruptions, she's still trying her best and is making a real effort to continue. I'm worried about, like, he's probably gonna punch somebody if they interrupt Yuri.
Oh, yeah.
To her credit, her performance is still commendable. She manages to work the contrast of her enunciation against the words in her favor. It adds an interesting depth to the poem. I'd love to see more of this side to her. She brings her performance to a close, hands shaking slightly. Lovely poem, Sayori. You really brought that one to life.
Thank you.
Something's off with her voice. It's like how she was on Friday. Monica stands up, turning to address everyone in the room. Just a polite reminder that it would be much appreciated if everyone could give our poets some respect while they're performing. Monica looks stern, while Natsuki looks positively furious. Thank you, Monica.
Jeez.
Thank you. Now, the stage is all yours, Yuri. Oh god. Yuri is looking terrified at this point. Sayori gives her a reassuring squeeze and I lean over, whispering into her ear.
You've got this, Yuri. Just pretend like it's only me, Natsuki, Sayori, and Monica.
I can't do this, main Kara.
Yes, you can. I believe in you. I've seen how passionate you can become when you talk about Portrait of Markov.
Aww.
I loved that. I loved seeing that side of you. Besides, like you said, this club could be the perfect place for any of these people. We just don't know it yet.
She swallows nervously, nodding at my words. She's probably, like, hooked on the things like, I love that about you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you. She rises to her feet, poem clasped firmly to her chest, and avoiding eye contact with everyone as she walks up. Her eyes flick up to glance at the classroom when she gets on stage, although she quickly ducks her head back down to look at her poem on the podium. This poem is titled Afterimage of a Crimson Eye. Her voice quivers as she starts, but unlike her recitation a few days ago, the meek and trembling version of Yuri remains well into the poem. She determinedly forges ahead, but I can tell that she's not enjoying it in the slightest. The rest of the classroom, momentarily subdued by Monica's words, soon begins to grow louder again. God damn it! After a few lines of her poem, they are even more unruly than before. The crinkling of wrappers fills the air, and at a few points, Yuri is almost drowned out by others' voices. I catch a few people getting up and leaving the classroom, and by the slight hitch in her voice, it seems that Yuri's seen them as well. Her eyes stay glued to her poem now, and it looks like she's trying her hardest to ignore everyone. One boy quietly wolf whistles at Yuri, causing her to jump and lower her head even more. Rude!
I would immediately punch him.
She's practically shaking like a leaf. This is absolutely disgusting behavior, and I open my mouth to say something. Suddenly, Natsuki stands up, a loud scraping noise from her pushing away from the desk, drawing the attention of the students.
Can you all just shut up?
Yes!
I'm really freaking sick of this. How can you guys be so rude? We're trying our best to show you something amazing here, and you're just going to stop all of our hard work like that? Unbelievable. I can't even understand how people can be this arrogant. Just this plain terrible. I didn't want to interrupt you, Yuri, but I can't stand it anymore.
Yay.
You idiots might as well leave if you aren't going to pretend to pay attention.
There's complete silence for a beat. Only came for the food anyway. Let's go, guys. Who is this dude with green hair? What
I
a
don't know.
prick!
He has, like, the most punchable face
Yes.
I've ever seen.
Once this boy speaks up and begins to lead his friends away, one by one more students start to follow them out the door. I throw a panicked look over at Monica, who's holding a strange, stiff expression on her face. Looks like she's struggling to stay calm for everyone. After a few moments, there's barely anyone left. Yuri, meanwhile, quietly begins speaking again, but her voice is barely audible. There's just a stifling silence accompanying her words. When she finishes, a weak smattering of applause sounds from the few who are left. She unsteadily steps down from the stage, a blank look on her face. She won't look at any of us either. I'm worried about her. Okay. Monica's voice cracks as she speaks up. She's still trying her best to see us through this. I don't think any of us could have predicted that it would turn out this way. Thank you, Yuri. You did wonderfully. I'm sincerely sorry for all the disruptions and sheer arrogance you had to endure. Those kind of people really are the worst. To those who are left, I want to thank you all for staying and apologize as well. This is definitely not a normal occurrence for the Literature Club, I assure you. Well, let's finish this off with main Kara then. With a heavy heart, I slowly get up and walk onto the stage. When I get to the podium, I'm appalled by the sight of the classroom. Candy and cupcake wrappers are strewn across the floor, and quote cards lay tossed about, with many of the cards now featuring shoe prints over the words. The remnants of goodie bags are left ripped apart on desks. Even the kanji curtain looks tangled up and messy. The only students left are the ones who waved to Monica at the beginning. This is what Yuri had to see when reciting her poem. No wonder she didn't want to look up and face these people. Can I really do this now? How were the others able to finish their poems? I look at the clock. Only 10:20. Has it really only been 20 minutes? I mean, for us it's been about 40 minutes, but still.
That's fair.
Taking a shaky breath, I begin to speak.
Hi, everyone. I'd like to take a second to apologize as well, both to those checking out the club today and those who are already in it. But despite everything that's happened, I can say that I'm glad I joined, since I got to meet so many amazing people.
Oh, what a testimonial.
I love this guy. I believe that you guys would love it as much as I do too. Anyhow, I hope that you'll all enjoy Acquainted with the Night.
Ooh, that sounds like a poem that Yuri would be into.
Yeah.
I wonder if the poem changes when you, give it, when you're taking other girls' roots. Probably.
Yeah.
That's a good
That'd
touch.
be cool.
I start reading, and I am struck once again by the beauty of the poem. The loneliness and isolation conveyed so accurately. I can relate to a lot of these feelings, which is probably why he chose it. I won't be as good as the others at reciting, but I can only hope that I'll be able to do the poem justice. Thoughts of doing both the poet and the club proud strengthen my spirit, and I manage to fight through the depressing mood. The quiet of the classroom suits the lines of the poem well, and my recital seems to fly by rather quickly. Excellent performance, main Kara! What a great way to round off the event! As I step down from the stage, Monica stands up and addresses the room. Thank you all for coming and staying. I truly appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. That's it for the scheduled recitations, but you guys are free to stay and hang out if you want. There is an awkward silence for a few moments, then the remaining students start to stand up. Shiori? Who's this?
Hey, Monica. Oh, and you too, main Kara. I didn't know you were in this club.
The girl
You
standing...
just saw me perform.
Oh, the girl standing before us is actually my homeroom's class representative, Shiori. It's funny, she has realistic hair, kind of like Monica, too. I mean, it's really black.
Did we see her, really early on?
I'm not sure. We might have. I remember maybe that was her, and I also remember a blonde one.
Oh, maybe we saw the blonde one.
Yeah.
Maybe we saw both. Who knows?
I think so. I'll have to look at that first episode again. Given that both she and Monica are class reps, they're probably friends.
Yeah, I only joined about a week ago, so...
Ah, I see.
Yep.
Hey, the way you guys were treated was seriously awful.
It's fine.
Thanks for staying. Either way, sorry about everything, Monica. I'll check out the club sometime.
She gives us a small commiseratory smile, and I'm torn between wondering whether everyone's pitying us or sympathizing with us. They all start to file out of the classroom after a few more goodbyes. Monica keeps a strained smile plastered on her face. Meanwhile, Yuri has her head buried in her arms on the desk. In contrast, Natsuki is staring straight ahead, gritting her teeth, and Sayori looks down at her desk, picking at a spot on the varnished wood. Aw, jeez. That could have gone a lot better.
That could have gone a lot worse.
True. It looks dark outside.
Oh, they have the paper covering the windows.
Oh, right. I didn't realize. Wonder where that inspirational, pretty banner is supposed to be.
It's probably at the front of the classroom.
Oh.
The one side we can't see.
God damn it. To say there's tension in the air would be a massive understatement. There's silence in the room, made worse by the sense of awkwardness. No one knows what to say. No one expected the festival to end this way, and the impact is hitting us all. And it's silent and awkward.
So, that could have gone better.
My attempt at humor falls flat, and I immediately regret speaking. Natsuki gives me a dirty look, but Sayori smiles wanly. Wanly? Wanly? I never know how to pronounce that.
I've never heard that word before.
Yeah. Meanwhile, it looks like Monica's face has finally fallen. I don't understand. Where did we go so wrong, guys? We spent so long preparing for this, and after all our efforts... For the first time, that outgoing confidence Monica always seemed to radiate has snuffed out. She clearly cared a lot about this event, and I feel awful for her.
Your issue was you got 5 mature people running a club in a high school full of immature people.
Seriously.
You expected too much of high schoolers.
I know. Yeah, it's true. I mean, the literature club, I guess it makes sense that well-read people would be more mature.
Yeah.
I mean, besides Natsuki.
I mean, even main Kara has been... Oh, yeah, you meant the maturity.
Yeah,
I thought you meant the well-read part.
Yeah. Yeah.
That went right over my head. Oh,
Yeah.
All right. I know. I don't get it either. I thought you guys all did such a good job as well. The decorations, the recitals. I'm sorry, Monica.
Don't worry about it, main Kara. It's not like it's your fault anyway. She smiles weakly at me. Glancing around, I notice that Yuri and Natsuki seem particularly upset, with Yuri looking absolutely dejected and Natsuki steaming mad.
This is your Monica. I told you this was a stupid idea.
Oh no.
None of us were even that comfortable with doing it in the first place. Now look where it's landed us.
Excuse me? My fault? You all agreed to do this. Pardon me for thinking it would actually go well. What's so wrong about that?
We only agreed to do it because we felt like you were forcing us.
Oh, I was really hoping this wouldn't happen. Given everyone's low moods, an argument is the last thing we need. I didn't force anyone, Natsuki. You know how much this club means to me. I was just excited to show what we have to the rest of the school.
That was such a good idea, wasn't it?
I'm really starting to get sick of your constant sarcasm, you know. Why can't you just try being positive for once in your life?
Gee, it's funny you should say that, because I'm really starting to get sick of your self-righteous, know-it-all attitude.
Wow, a fight between Natsuki and Monica? What is happening here?
I didn't expect that. I love the music, though.
It sounds like Halloween, honestly.
Oh, I like this. I'm using this in D&D, honestly.
Ooh. Yeah, it's a good track.
I gotta look up this OST.
Yeah.
We told you this was a bad idea, but no! You just had to insist on this, even though no one was happy with it.
It's not like anyone else had a good idea for the festival, though.
Yeah.
It was for a reason. Look at how much main Kara enjoys it here. Is it really so unreasonable to think that we could have found someone else like him? Or is it that just too positive for you to even fathom? This is awful. The other students were bad enough, but now Monika and Natsuki are going for each other's throats?
Look at how badly everyone was humiliated. How inconsiderate all of those...
She struggles for a moment, her anger inhibiting her ability to speak.
Those souls were to us. Or to all of us. They didn't give a damn about anything we had to say. What did that one prick say? He was only here for the food. All of that hard work, just for what? Nothing.
She angrily kicks one of the desks. The loud noise jolts Yuri, who looks up with tears in her eyes. No! What is happening?
My wife.
Please, Natsuki, can you calm down? Oh.
Don't tell me you're taking her side, Yuri. You had to experience the worst of it. I don't get why you're not mad either.
Natsuki, there's no point in being angry at Monika. She didn't want this to happen. She had no idea people would react this way. It's bad enough that the students were rude, and I really don't like fighting inside the club itself.
Yeah, but if Monika just listened to us, we wouldn't. When we said we weren't comfortable with the whole idea, this would have never happened.
Monika sighs. This is the kind of conflict she generally leaves for Sayori to deal with. But in this case, Sayori looks too distraught to intervene. Look, what you're not understanding is that sometimes you just have to take risks. Sure, this didn't go so well, but there was always a chance it wouldn't have ended up like this, and we could have had new members. She turns to me. I mean, you of all people can understand that the best, right, Main Kara? You made the choice to come here. Look how much you enjoyed it.
Oh, don't you try and suck up to him, Monika. Face it, you never listen to us, your club members, or take our opinions into account.
What?
Tell me I'm not alone in thinking that, Main Kara.
Oh, great. Now I have to choose a side? I really don't want to do this. I desperately look at Yuri and Sayori, but both look too upset to want to get involved. Oh, God. There's more to the story. What? Okay,
Save.
I'm saving. Totally. I mean, I totally agree with Monika. It's like Natsuki's being a negative Nancy and, like, blaming everything on Monika, but...
I know, it's not Monika's fault. Like, yes, she has every right to be angry, but it's not Monika's fault.
Really, like, no one was gonna come up with anything else. I mean, yeah, everyone was hesitant and reluctant to perform poetry because they're stage shy, but what else were they gonna do?
Yeah, the reason I, like, feel this on such a hard level is because, like, I, in college, was in a fraternity, and we were, like, a new chapter. We were, like, a colony, it's called, and we were just really starting out. So we didn't have a lot of members, and we were trying to get new members, and nothing as bad as this happened, but we did struggle for getting new members. Like, we were not, at least in private, we were treated not very kindly by other fraternities.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this episode really hits hard, huh? It's very relatable.
Yeah. Everything about this game has hit me pretty hard.
Yeah.
I'm like, why do I relate to this so much? This is not good.
Yeah. Man. Okay, so we both agree we're siding with Monika, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. So I guess that's gonna be Monika. Something tells me this is going to make me very unpopular with Natsuki. I brace myself for what's going to come next.
Natsuki, come on. You know better than I do that Monika loves this club. It's only natural she'd want to share it with the rest of the school.
Seriously? You're actually taking her side? I can't believe this.
No, it's not like that. I'm not taking her side. It's just...
Just what? That's exactly what you're trying to do, Main Kara. Don't try and backpedal.
Natsuki, that's not what he's trying to say. He's
Oh, of course you're jumping to his aid. Shut up, Monica.
Monica looks furious, and for a moment I think Natsuki has finally gone too far. She closes her eyes and takes a deep breath, evidently trying to contain her anger.
Jeez, Natsuki, don't you think that was a little out of order? You didn't have to shout at her.
What would you know? You haven't even been here for 5 days. Why is everyone making me out to be the bad guy here?
'Cause you kind of are.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
I mean,
Remember when Monica said she'd make sure people weren't going to be rude during our performances?
There is that.
did she say that? Oh, I missed that.
Well, I mean, she said, like,
Whoops.
she'd have friends in the crowd, and she did, but she really should have pointed out, like,
yeah.
made them all leave earlier so everyone wouldn't be miserable reading their poems.
Yeah. Honestly, so should have main Kara.
Yeah.
Definitely should have stepped in, like, before Natsuki even performed,
Yeah.
and been like, "Gentlemen in the back, if you are not interested, you are free to leave."
Yes.
And then everybody would just be staring at them, and they'd be like, "Just came for the food anyways."
Yeah.
But they'd leave all dejected this time.
Yeah. Totally should have been called out earlier.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm legitimate. I'm like, what would I do in that situation?
Yes.
Like, I'm legitimately angry at these 2D fictional boys.
I know. It's me too. It's like we're past the point of, like, where the story was supposed to end, and now this is, like, getting too real.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's like, this is too real now, and I'm upset.
Come on.
Wow, congratulations! She sure did a fantastic job with that!
Mm.
I mean, it's not like anyone wolf whistled at Yuri or anything, was it? Some enforcer you were!
Oh, her bitter, sarcastic tirade continues on, each point worsening the atmosphere.
I'm the only one who can see this for what it is. It's just Monica trying to use the club to boost her popularity.
Oh, no.
Why would she need that? She's like the most popular person ever.
Yeah. That's totally not what this is about.
And it sickens me! You think we're all just, what, some sort of pawns for you? Explains why you didn't even consider how reluctant we all were to do this, or why you let everyone just walk all over us.
Natsuki, you're just being ridiculous now. Why would I want to hurt all of us? It's not exactly been easy on me, either. Natsuki lets out a snort of derision.
You? Why would you, of all people, know about life being hard?
Oh, you're gonna hear it. Monica blinks, looking like she's been slapped.
It's easy for you, Monica, with your role as the queen of this school, everyone liking you, all that crap. You have such a perfect life and all, never having to defend your interests, never having anyone ridicule you for the things you like. I share classes with those assholes, you know, and you bet they're gonna have a lot of fun telling everyone else about it. About how much of a loser we all are.
Oh, damn.
And guess what? It's all because of you.
I can practically hear the venom dripping from her words at this point. It's absolutely horrible.
I'm trying my best, but we gave her such a silly voice.
I know.
Face it,
Oh.
Ow.
Sayori would be a better president than you could ever be.
Oh.
Ow, I didn't even want to say that.
I know. And the music stopped. Oh no.
Oh, God.
And with that, a sickening silence falls into the room once more. When is this gonna end? Where is this scene going, even?
I don't know. And I'm honestly scared that Monica might, like, just say screw it and just restart the game without her.
Oh my god. That would be scary. But
Not without Natsuki, without herself.
yeah. But this time, it's a million times worse. The fire in Natsuki's eyes is blazing, and quiet sobs can be heard from Yuri. Sayori is miserably hugging herself, looking completely lost for words. Monica is wearing a stony expression on her face, looking both enraged and heartbroken. I can't really see this playing out any differently if we'd taken Natsuki's side.
Yeah, honestly.
The whole club waits for her reply to the bombshell Natsuki just dropped on her. But without a word, Monica turns on her heel and walks out of the door, the impact of Natsuki's words hanging in the air behind her. No one knows what to say. For a few moments, the heavy silence remains. We all exchange looks. Yuri is meekly wiping her eyes on her sleeve, and Sayori is standing around awkwardly. Natsuki, on the other hand, is refusing to meet anyone's gaze. You see what you done did?
Yeah, jeez.
She looks like she's regretting her words a little bit.
Guys? Please, can we make sure that never happens again?
Oh, it was awful!
That was horrible to experience, to say the least.
Without Monica to restore order and keep things going, the club suddenly feels very aimless and disorganized.
Natsuki, I know you're angry, but can you please find Monica and apologize?
But...
Please? I know you're feeling a bit guilty over what you said. After all, you were a bit mean.
Natsuki grumbles something under her breath.
It's okay. I'll go and find Monica. No offense, Natsuki, but I don't think she'd particularly want to see you right now.
I wince as the words leave my mouth. There's probably a more diplomatic way of saying it. Natsuki glares at me.
Fine.
As I turn to leave, I silently motion to Yuri and Sayori to try and talk to Natsuki. Sayori nods and Yuri nervously swallows. Now, where would Monica go? I wonder where she would go. I'm very curious to keep going. She would probably want somewhere quiet where she could be by herself, right? Which rules out the classrooms, the courtyard, and the cafeteria. The only two places coming to mind are the girls' toilets or the
Library.
Or the rooftop.
Aw.
I mean,
Oh.
I would have said the music room so she could be playing piano.
Oh, that's even smarter.
Well, I'm hoping it isn't the girls' toilets.
I'm hoping it's not the rooftop.
I make my way over to the staircase that leads up to the top, thinking about how this conversation is going to go. Ooh, the staircase. Will she even want to talk to me? She didn't even say anything as she left. Was she that upset? I mean, I would be. Although, given what Natsuki said, I really wouldn't blame Monica. Guess there's only one way to find out. I guess the music room would be a classroom, so maybe they're doing their own festival thing.
Yeah, probably music club
Yes.
or whatever.
There's a door at the top of the stairs which opens out to the rooftop. Bracing myself, I put my hand on the cool steel door handle and push the door open. Aw, that looks nice. Man, the view up here...
Thank God there's
Yeah.
there's fencing.
Yeah, there really is something. I shiver as the wind cuts through my blazer. It's a cold and desolate place, a fitting setting for what just happened. I look around and there she is, leaning slightly over the barriers at the edge of the rooftop, face turned away from me. Not a peep sounds from her, not even when the wind slams the door behind me closed.
Monica?
No answer. This is totally like an anime.
Yeah.
I slowly approach her, making as little noise as possible in some illogical attempt to not scare her away.
You, looked pretty upset, so I thought I'd come find you.
I trail off, mentally berating myself at how weak that must have sounded. It's okay, dude. She stays completely still as I sidle up to her side, leaning on the railing so that I can see her face. I don't know what I expected, but her expression is oddly calm.
Monica.
Beautiful view.
isn't it?
Yeah, you could say that. Is that the reason you came up here?
It's part of it. On days like this, the wind and the eternally stretching blue sky makes me feel like I can go anywhere. Finally, we've got the title drop.
Hey! Roll credits.
It feels freeing. There's something comforting in the possibility of getting swallowed up by that blue. Being able to simultaneously take control and lose control.
Monica, well, I know that you're obviously not okay. But I'm not asking if you're okay to know if you're okay.
That makes total sense.
I'm going to ask if you're okay so that you can choose to talk to me about whatever if you want to. To give you an opportunity to open up. So, are you okay?
Oh, that's a good way to clarify it. A thin smile.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. A thin smile appears on her face. Progress? That's sweet of you, main Kara. To be honest, I didn't expect you to have any tact at all. Me neither. Oh, that's hilarious. Did you expect that I'd be crying up here? Contemplating suicide or something? Don't worry, I wouldn't do it just because of the festival.
Well, I wouldn't blame you if you wanted to cry it out.
You know, I actually thought I would cry at first, but maybe I'm all cried out. I guess I've come to terms with all the things that Natsuki said already. Oh, she says such weighty words so casually.
What Natsuki said wasn't true, Monica. I think that you're a fantastic president.
I hasten to try to give less empty words after she arches an eyebrow at me.
And I'm not just saying that to cheer you up either. Remember what I said to you before the festival, during your little pep talk?
She faintly nods.
Well, I'm gonna reiterate it anyway because it's important you're aware of how much I mean it. Basically meaning, in case you guys at home forgot.
Yes.
Thank you for everything. You took me in when I really needed it. Remember how I said earlier that I've been feeling lonely?
She nods again.
Well, that's how things have been for me recently. I haven't seen much of my parents lately, and most of my days I'd spend alone. All of that changed when I joined your club. You were all so friendly and welcoming. Not once did you ever turn me away because I wasn't a poet. I mean, between you and me, I know my poems weren't the greatest.
You have a lot of potential, main Kara. I did like your poems.
Well, I'm glad you think so. But anyway, that's beside the point. You accepted me for who I was, and was always willing to help me. And more importantly, you've created something that 3 other girls hold hold dear to their hearts. Definitely the sign of a good president, if you ask me.
Monica looks down for a moment, as if composing herself, and then meets my eyes with a smile. Thank you, main Kara. It really means a lot. Like I said earlier, hearing all of this from a newcomer really does make me believe I've hit the goals I set for myself. All I wanted was to create a little haven that people could call home, no matter their writing ability.
Well, take it from someone who joined only a few days ago that you've definitely succeeded. Also, had you not made this club, I would never have gotten to meet Yuri and Natsuki, or been able to hang out with Sayori again.
I mean, you might have hung out with Sayori even if the club didn't exist, because you're just walking home to school together, but yeah, I guess you wouldn't have had a reason to hang out.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't actually get to walk home together because she was always at the club.
Oh,
So,
I see. Yeah, they walk home
Yeah.
together, but maybe not necessarily to school together.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Nor would I have gotten to get to know you better either, and that would have been a real shame, eh?
I playfully nudge her, receiving a nudge back. Aw.
Past week has probably been the happiest I've ever been in a long, long time.
Aw.
And that is all thanks to you.
We share a smile, one that I'm now sure is completely genuine on Monica's part. I don't really know what to say.
It's okay, seriously. I just wanted you to know how I felt. Anyway. Natsuki was a bit out of order with her words, but honestly, I don't think she meant it. I guess tensions were running really high, and you know better than I do how fiery she can be.
I feel like a little deja vu, because he was saying that to Sayori earlier.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I know she was just really upset, but hearing those words, it hit pretty deep, you know? I tried telling myself not to take her words to heart because I knew she was just upset. But it was that line about Sayori being a better president. I don't know why it got under my skin so much.
It was just spite, Monica. People say awful things that they don't mean when they're upset.
But you don't know, buddy, that Sayori is the president in an alternate reality.
Yeah. Sayori and Yuri are talking to her now, and I get the feeling she wants to apologize, but just doesn't know how to.
Well, that's definitely something Natsuki needs work on. By the way, thank you for making the effort to find me. It really means a lot. I'm suddenly struck by the situation I'm in. Here I am, alone with one of the most attractive, popular girls of the year, having a heart-to-heart. Probably a situation most of the other guys in school would kill to be in. My face heats up a little as I process the heartfelt, rather vulnerable scene we're both in.
You're welcome, Monica. Nothing to thank me for.
I sheepishly scratch the back of my neck.
We should go and find the others, though. Don't want them to worry or anything.
We stand up and make our way back to the door. I hope so. It wasn't exactly nice to be told you have a perfect life and that you've never experienced any difficulties. As we make our way back to the club, I just hope Sayori and Yuri were able to talk some sense into Natsuki. The last thing we need is another argument. Okay. She's silent as we wordlessly make our way back to the classroom. We finally arrive. I squeeze her shoulder as she takes a deep breath and walks in. I wonder if we should save here, because I feel like the scene's just gonna drag on for a little longer, and it's been an hour, so
that's fair.
I'm gonna save
I suppose
here,
so.
and
I'm super into this now, even more so than
I know.
before.
It's amazing. It's like, I want to try and end on a good note, at least, because that argument with Natsuki
Oh,
was,
yeah.
like, really terrible. Even more terrible, somehow, than those pricks, like, interrupting the whole performance.
Honestly.
I wonder how much longer this is going to go on, but we're going to see in the future.
I feel like
but
it's going to be pretty long, honestly.
I guess, yeah, the setup of Doki Doki Literature Club was only the beginning, maybe. But yeah, Doki Doki Blue Skies is heating up right now, and no one knows what's going to happen next. So,
Yeah.
thank you for being a part of this, Max, and I don't know what's going to happen next, but hopefully you guys are into this too, and that you stick around for the rest of the story. Well, we've got some stuff to think about until the next time we play.
Truth.
Right. See you guys later. Hope you have a good time, and stay determined.
Bye.